Welcome to Target the Trade. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today we're going to be discussing one of the largest companies in the world called Microsoft. Now, Microsoft has been around for a very long time. But before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you do find value in this presentation. So Microsoft has been around since the 1970s, started by Bill Gates and Paul Allen in Seattle. Now, there's a big history to Microsoft and how they recreated themselves throughout the market space. And every time, every 10 years, every decade, they really enter a market in the software, hardware, creative side. Every single time, they're on top of everything. They really have been one of the biggest innovators and creators in the market space when it comes to software and analytics and all that stuff. So it makes complete sense that they're on top of AI, all right? It really does make complete sense. But there is some background to this before we get into the actual charts. Number one, okay, and this is just a few points just to keep in mind, it is a market leader. When we say FANG stocks plus Microsoft, we're saying that Microsoft is one to look up to. Now, in the 1990s, I would say it was both Cisco and Intel that would be the one that everybody would look to kind of give us some gauging in the market, okay, in the realm of when it came to software and hardware in terms of its computer products, okay, that it was shipping out, the chips, the networking, internet age was just coming about, okay. So those were the ones that everybody looked to in the 1990s, early 2000. Now, Microsoft was around that time, but it wasn't a bellwether. Today, it's a bellwether. Today, it has so many hands in so many different aspects of the computer, software, hardware areas that it's really hard to decipher. I mean, they're across the board, okay? And they're really across the board and very strong at it as well. Whereas something like Apple, okay, which is really just fragmented to its pieces, even though it does touch on some AI stuff, it's not completely absorbed in it, whereas Microsoft will completely absorb itself in it and be the market leader in it. So, it's like, in certain aspects, Microsoft is a big competitor to Google, it's a big competitor to some of the other, Facebook, and it just a roundabout way, not directly. And this is really a very important part because this is what has resurged itself. Because AI is becoming such a big thing, okay, this is why it's resurged itself, and that's why it's become such a big and sustained itself as a market leader. Number two, it's an industry innovator. It takes the regular stuff and makes it accessible to the mass public, whereas Apple generally takes its product and makes it into art, okay? If you ever look at some of the concepts that Apple has tried to bring to the marketplace, it's really just an aspect of an extension to one person, which is art, okay? Whereas, Microsoft is looking at it as a product that people could use, okay? The masses could use, the ones that won't appreciate the art aspect of it and need to pay up for it. So they are an industry innovator for what they purposely offer to the market, okay? So let's take a look at this, all right? So this is a weekly chart of Apple. Now you can see we're all the way up on our highs, okay? We were everywhere ever since, okay? This is the beginning of Corona. We had about $100 a share and we took it up all the way up, okay, to I believe June of 2022, okay, where we got to this high level of $290 a share. Now that's right up there. And then we've just recently retested it. Now this is the debacle of since last year of October of 2022 where we sold off. And then you could see our comeback. And the comeback is fast and it's furious. And really the major contributor to this is AI. The anticipation of AI becoming such a big part of the market in the next 2, 3, 5 years has brought us back to these levels. And we are making new record highs, all-time new record highs. This breakout, okay, that you'll see here on a daily chart, let's take a look at it, is new record highs. You can see we're on our dead highs. This isn't precedented. Now, this is all anticipation of AI in the next 2 to 3 years. Now, what does it mean to the trader. And why am I taking this? Because this is a market leader, number one. Number two, you want to keep an eye on this because as long as it's sustaining itself above the 200-day moving average, especially, the 30-day and the 8-day moving average, it's a strong stock. So if it does retrace to that, okay, that's a support level that could give you a potential for an entry point. Now, when stocks go like this, you kind of say to yourself, what's the point? How much more can it possibly go? But if it does retrace, okay, 9 times out of 10, it'll continue its trend, okay, unless it's going to prove us otherwise. And until it does prove us otherwise, until the market does make some kind of change, the trend is your friend. That's used to be a major motto. Like, don't fight this, right? I mean, it's going to continue going in this way until it proves to you otherwise. And that's why I'm bringing this point to you, because there's still tremendous upside potential when it comes to Microsoft. Thank you for joining me.